What's going on, world family? It's your boy Donald Jones, and welcome to another episode of Journey of the Mindset. Listen here, season 2 is starting off well. I'm very, very pleased with the interviews that I got in. Got a minimum of a little bit of interviews, but I got some good information coming to you guys. So I want you to stay tuned for that. But listen, today's topic is I'm a grown-ass man. I'm going to be so upfront and so honest. This episode right here, this information that's going to be given, this information is for the gentleman. Now, ladies, don't get discouraged. I have something for you guys coming 2 episodes down, but I felt like today I needed to really talk and speak to the gentleman. So for the gentleman out there that constantly says out their mouth, I'm a grown-ass man, I want your grown ass to be here listening to this information in this podcast show. So check this out. Ladies, if you got a significant other that you want to sit in on this episode, I think that this would be the perfect time right now for you to pause it and go get them, because this information is going to be deep. I'm gonna let me just be upfront. I'm gonna touch some feelings on this podcast. I'm gonna say things that some people are going to agree with, and I'm gonna say things that some people are going to disagree with. But I'm at the point where I'm comfortable with myself, I'm secure with myself, so the information that I'm going to get out there to people that touches people in a certain type of way, that means my job is done. If you ever get information, if you ever hear a quote and it bothers you or it stings or you feel it inside of your heart, that means it was for you. If you listen to a quote or something motivational, it doesn't mean nothing for you, it wasn't for you. But today's show is strictly for the men, and I want to get this information out there to you. So check this out. I hear a lot of men, including myself, say the words, I'm a grown-ass man. And I feel like we need to live up to that saying of being a grown-ass man. We're quick to tell a female in a heartbeat when they're disrespecting us or they're saying something out of their mouth that we don't agree with, yo, who you talking to? I'm a grown-ass man. Or if somebody's telling us something, right? Or somebody's trying to explain something to us that makes us feel like we're belittled, the first thing we say is, who are you talking to? I'm a grown-ass man. But let me explain something to some of you gentlemen out there about being a grown-ass man. Being a grown-ass man means that you have responsibilities that you're taking care of, meaning that you have your children that you're going to visit on a regular. You're pushing away your personal differences to the side with the parent, with the mother of your child, so that way you can see your child. So that way your child can see that you guys have a healthy relationship. And I know that it's something that's not easy to do. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about co-parenting. And why do I want to talk about co-parenting? I decided to do a podcast show with the mother of my child. Very, very interesting segment, which you all will hear for next week's podcast episode 5. It was a very, very interesting interview. A lot was said, but one thing that I realized is that for the sake of my son, we choose to be friends, not enemies. And when you take a step back, right, and I want you to really think about, and this is for the men right now that have kids, that's co-parenting, and you really sit back and you think about the relationship that you have with your child and with the mother of your child. I've seen and heard stories of 2 parents that just can't get along. They argue, they bicker towards each other, they fight, they hate each other, they just dislike each other. What I didn't understand was, how is it that we slept in the same bed with each other? How we met, how we went on dates with each other, how it led up to us having a child with each other, saying I love you and being with each other. But now we're enemies to the point where we can't get along for the sake of our child. As I'm doing the interview with the mother of my child, I'm thinking to myself, how is this working? How is it that we're able to maintain a healthy relationship with all of the differences that we've had in our past and in our backgrounds together? As a man, when I left the mother of my child, we had a conversation, and I told her, I said, no matter what differences we have with each other, it can never lead over to my son. My son has never, I would probably say, my son is 13 years old, he probably seen me and his mother argue probably 1 time, twice if the most, throughout his whole life. We save those heated conversations for private times when he's not around. That's one. Secondly, as a man, and I'm talking about as a man, somewhere along the line, we have to think and say, how much are we willing to bend for the better, greater sacrifice? And the better, greater sacrifice would be your child. Putting away those differences, putting away that hate, putting away that anger, putting away those frustrations, putting it and pushing it to the side, so that way you two can co-parent together as one but separate, to raise this child that you both decided to bring in this world together. Remember, that child did not ask to be here. You two decided to go into a room, or wherever it is that you guys decided to do it, to conceive this child and bring this child into this world. So that child should not have to suffer because of the differences that two parents have with each other. So as men that call ourselves leaders, right? Leaders in a relationship, we're supposed to lead our relationship into greatness. As leaders, somewhere along the line, we have to take that step back and center ourselves and become one with ourselves and really analyze the situations that we're in. And think about the situation as a whole. Don't just think about the situation as, okay, you know what, I just don't like this person, we don't get along, we broke up, so we gotta hate each other. No, that's not the way that works. Pride has to be pushed to the side. Planning has to be important. Emotions has to be put to the side. Because the greater and the better, bigger picture is your child. So as you're walking around and you're telling everybody that you're a grown-ass man, I mean, I don't know why they don't see that in the first place, but if you're telling everybody that you're a grown-ass man and you're a parent, as a grown-ass man, you need to conduct yourself as a grown-ass man. You shouldn't be cursing out, calling the mother of your child names, bees, or belittling her. If the mother of your child, listen to this, because I want people to understand this. I want men to understand this. Fathers, if your child is living with the mother of your child the majority of the time, why would you want to stress her out? You see, if the mother is not right, the child is not right. If the mother's in pain, the child's in pain. So as a man, as a father, as someone that decided together with another human being that we were going to bring this child into this world together, I am telling you that it is your duty to lead that process and put all negative and bad things that you two have been through together in the past, so that way you can raise a healthy, mentally sound child. So now let's move this over a little bit further now, right? Let's talk about men, grown-ass men in relationships that act like kids. Your girl gets you upset. She doesn't give you what you want. She's not showing you enough attention because she's working. Dinner's not ready. The house is messy. You decide to go out and say, hey, you know what, the hell with it, I'm gonna cheat. I'm a grown-ass man. This is my grown-ass man attitude to all of that. If the relationship is no longer healthy, move on from it. It's very simple. Hard thing to do, but very simple. But let's keep it funky like a monkey. You going out there, grown-ass man, to cheat because you're not getting what you want from the relationship at the time, that's not a grown-ass man move. And let me say that again. You going out there to cheat because you're not getting what you want out of the relationship is not a grown-ass man move. A grown-ass man move is, you know what, let me make a decision whether or not I'm going to stay here or I'm going to move on. Am I going to get counseling or am I going to deal with it? We have choices, but your choices that you make doesn't always have to hurt somebody else. As a grown-ass man, as somebody, and I keep on saying it, I'm going to say it a lot through the segment because I really want us to understand when we're going around advertising ourselves as grown-ass men, you have to conduct yourself as a grown-ass man. You can't be out there acting like a child, running around telling everybody, y'all don't talk to me that way, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need your money, I'm a grown-ass man. I'm a CEO, I'm a grown-ass man. You're not the smartest person in the room. Let me just break that news for you right now. You're not the smartest person in the room. You need to learn from other human beings, just like other human beings need to learn from other human beings. So as you're advertising yourself as being this grown-ass man, ask yourself, am I conducting myself like a grown-ass man should? We have these egos about ourselves as men. We want to be machista. We want to be tough. We want to be leaders. But how can you lead if you don't know how to lead, or have you never been led? How can you lead if you don't know how to lead because you've never been led? There's a generational factor that plays a part in the reason why a lot of men do what they do. They see the way their father treated their mother. So they grow up to treat their girlfriend or wife the way that they see their father treat their mother. This is why it's very important as grown-ass men for us to conduct ourselves as the proper support system, the positive support system, and lead our children into greatness. You can't sit here and have this hunch on your back and being angry at situations that could possibly affect your child, or situations that could affect you. It's a lot to be a man. I mean, listen, it's hard. We have image that we have to live up to. We have ways that we have to carry ourselves. We always have to prove ourselves. We have to show that we're tough. The moment we bend, the moment we show weakness, it's being taken advantage of. I know. The 36 years that I lived on this earth, I've been through a hell of a lot with people, a hell of a lot that I put myself through. But somewhere along the line, you have to change that mindset. If the mindset that you have now as a man hasn't been working for you, it's not going to work out for you. Change your mindset. Change it. I want to move over into a different part now that's going to jump off relationships and co-parenting when it comes down to you being a man. A man, and let me say this very, very clear, and I'm going to look into the camera. For those of you guys that's listening to this on any of the Apple Podcast channels, you can go over to YouTube at 143 Speak so you can see the image. Nothing special today. I'm just home, vibing out. It's spiking in New York, so I'm trying to keep safe, keep my social distancing. But I'm going to tell you right now, a man doesn't pick up a gun to kill another man. And a lot of brothers are sitting in jail right now because they got emotional. They're sitting in jail right now because of an emotion. Because somebody said something wrong to them. Said something. Can you picture somebody pissing you off, somebody coming up to you and pissing you off, and you deciding and making that split decision like, no, I have to take their life because they need to feel that emotion and pain that they just inflicted onto me? Where is that rationally make sense? You let throat noises ruin your whole entire life because somebody made a throat noise. They got an emotion out of you. You went and grabbed a gun or a knife, and you created an action that took you away from your children, that took you away from your family, and that locked you up in jail. That's not grown man, because now a grown man can't take care of his grown man responsibilities. Gentlemen, what I'm asking for you guys to do is I'm really asking for you guys to take a step back. Take a step back and really analyze your definition of what a grown man is and how a grown man is supposed to conduct themselves. Some of us have a vision that grown men are supposed to walk around with suits all day, smiling, waving like the President of the United States. It takes more than just that. Your image on the outside is going to reflect what you're feeling on the inside. And for those of you men out there that don't believe that you have that deep inner softness inside of you, it's there and you need to tap into it. Because you letting your ego and your emotions run you through your life, it's not going to get you anywhere. These are called selfish actions. When you're not thinking about the people around you, when you're not thinking about the people that care about you and love you the most. And damn it, if you don't have that support system out there to grab you and tell you, hey, listen, you need to conduct yourself in a better way, then you need to figure it out on your own. which is going to make the mission a lot more harder. But you have to choose what it is that you want for yourself. What type of lifestyle do you want for yourself? I can come on Journey of the Mindset every single day and talk about changing the mindset, talk about my journey, talk about the journeys that others been on. But what is it doing for you? What is it changing in your life? What light bulb is going off in your head like, aha, I need to make this adjustment to the way I'm thinking? If you're going to consider yourself a leader, if you want to feel like a man, then do what men do. Men get up, they go to work, they leave it all out there for their family. And when they come home, they're tired. Because when they were out there working, they were out there working with love. Love to the fact that they wanted to bring home that bacon to their family so they can support them. Nothing else matters. Not an ex-girlfriend coming out of the blue, not a beautiful girl that you met out in the bar. Nothing else matters than you providing for the people that matter the most. I got a question, and I always like to address questions. Well, what happens if it's a guy or a man that had a child that doesn't come from privileged circumstances and they have no choice but to go out and sell drugs so that way they can provide for their family? Well, there's a few factors that I have a problem with there, and then I'll address the good. One of the factors that I have a problem, if you knew you wasn't ready, financially set to have a child, which a lot of us have children and we're not financially set, which we're going to go over that next week podcast when I'm interviewing the mother of my child. But you knew you didn't have a job, you knew you didn't have the money, you knew that you were still living in mommy's house. That's the conversation and that's the maturity of a man that needs to be had. You putting on a condom. Now, I already know the DMs and the comments that I'm going to get. Well, what part does the women play? Because it takes two person to... Listen. Stop blaming. You a grown-ass man. You should have made sure that you had a condom on. You should have made sure that you had that conversation like, listen, I'm not financially stable right now, so I wouldn't be able to take care of a child. So let's make sure that we can be safe so that way we don't bring a child into this world. A lot of us will laugh about that type of conversation because nobody has it. Everybody's at the moment. I'm in love for 6 months and now this person is showing their real face. Honeymoon is over. Men, grown-ass men, it's time for us to start acting like grown-ass men. You cannot be a boy in a grown man's world. You cannot be a boy playing in a grown man's sport. You will fail. I know that it's very difficult for us as men to push our pride to the side and just say, you know what, I'm sorry. Or you know what, I'm wrong. But it's something that you just have to get used to. If you said it more, sorry. If you said it more, I'm wrong. If you said it more, I need some support. I guarantee you, life will go in a different direction for you. But as men, I want us to stop with the excuses on why we're not doing, why we're not providing, and why we're not taking care of our children. Those excuses are out the door. If you're going through a difficult time right now and you can't see your son, you can't see your daughter, you can't see your kids, you know exactly what you need to do so that way you can see your children. It's called court. Something that a lot of grown-ass men that are co-parenting don't believe in because we feel like the court system is not for us. The family court system is not for us. Guess what? Go out there, file your paperwork, see your kids. Stop with the excuses. I don't give a damn what's for us and what's not for us. Those are your kids. Their life is on the line. If you're not there, somebody else takes care of them. And that somebody else taking care of them might not be as great of a person as you are in the inside. They won't take care of your kid the way you would. I remember my mother used to tell us all the time, oh, I don't leave y'all with nobody because I know ain't nobody gonna take care of y'all the way I would. It's true. When you was a kid, right, and you ever played with somebody else's toy, you didn't take care of it the way you would take care of your toy. You driving somebody else's car, you're not gonna drive it as safe and be as comfortable as it is you're in your car. No, it's not yours. You didn't work for it. So you're not gonna have that emotional connection to it. Therefore, you're not gonna treat it like it's yours. But it's time, man. It's time. I grew up without a father. I don't talk about my father much. It's a very, very, very tough topic. And it's something that bothers me, something that haunted me throughout my whole life. And I don't really like to talk about him. But I grew up without a father. I've never had the experience of a father in my life. My mother had boyfriends. You know, she had men that she dated. There was one guy that she dated that she was with for years, lived with us. You know, and then he passed on. She has my stepfather now that she's married to. But I've never had that male figure. I never had that person to teach me how to be a man, how to be a father. And a lot of my experiences on how to be a father came from TV, Family Matters, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Those are things that I had to lean on to adjust me into fatherhood. But I had to make a choice, either to learn how to be a father, a loving father, or just not even try. And some of us grown-ass men aren't even trying. We're having children with these women and just leaving them out on an island for them to either sink or swim themselves back to land. To civilization, excuse me. And that's something that we gotta stop. There's a cycle that goes on. And I feel like men are always being watched. Women are the backbone. Women are the strength. Women are the approvers. Men, as much as you don't want to understand it, we're the workers. The boss is in the house. Because if you look at the power of women cook, clean, work, deal with our nonsense, deal with our sloppiness, and still remain strong and beautiful. And that's the same way we have to be as grown-ass men. Strong, supportive, educated, and empowered to do amazing things, to be amazing. Until the next time, world family, I want to thank you guys for coming to check out this episode. I hope that you got some great information. I want you to share, like, subscribe. This information means nothing not unless you're sharing it. Share it with family, share it with friends, share it to somebody that you know that needs to hear this the most. If you feel like there's no hope out there, I'm telling you right now, there is hope. If there was no hope out there, I would not do Journey of the Mindset. I don't care what predicament that you're in. I don't care how bad of a situation you're in. You fight for your life to get to the light. No matter what, push forward and be that grown-ass man that we know that you are destined to be. Until next time, world family, when you fall, make sure you land on your back so that way you can look in the direction that you're going in. Les Brown said that, and I'm a firm believer. Peace.